Hi, this is Subramaniam Shankaran. AI transformation is the buzzword everywhere now. AI transformation is something which is going to have a place in every organization. Now, to do the transformation, we need data, process, technology, people, etc., and the money. Money is the vital part to kickstart any AI transformation. In this video, we are going to have a look at approach plan or the six gated approach towards funding the AI transformation project for a successful transformation. So let's have a look at the six gate AI investment model. So this is a pictorial representation of the six gate investment model. Let's go one step at a time, one gate at a time. Let's approach the gate one. Now, the approaching the gate one, we need to really ask ourselves a question: Is it is this project really worth doing it? Okay, is there a value that we are actually going to get out of this? Do we have a risk involved in undertaking this project? Why I'm saying this, because see, we are approaching the 3rd of August 2026. The European Union AI Act is going to go live by 3rd of August 2026. Whatever is unacceptable risk, okay, should stop working, okay, or should not exist. Unacceptable risk has already stopped existing from 2nd of February 2025. Whatever is high risk, okay, should have the complaints done by 2nd of August 2026. So from 3rd of August 2026, it's all go live. There shouldn't be any of the high risk application without the complaints check being done. Okay, limited risk is minimal risk is actually okay. So whenever we undertake a project, let it be for AI transformation or any other projects in AI, we need to question ourselves to see, is this worth doing it? So executive question: Does this solve the real operational bottleneck? And what is the potential for physical, financial, reputational harm? Okay, security and safety. In fact, this has been discussed in a great detail in every country. In fact, the UK and the Japan has named the regulatory body as AI Safety Institute. Okay, security and safety, they both are important. Okay, so security is technical, safety is physical. Whenever we get on to the development of humanoids, robots, etc., we will look at the safety. Whatever is, with respect to the computers, hardware, software, etc., we look at the security part of it. Okay, let's approach the gate one. And the gate one, we have answered all the questions. Okay, let's go to gate two. That means we are starting the project. Now we need to understand: do we have the data, process, technology, people, okay, ready with us? PPTP or PPTD is what we say: people, process, technology, and data. People, process, technology, and partners had also been there as an acronym. People, process, technology, data, and the money as well. Okay. So do you have the right people to do the project? Do you have the right process to do it? Right technology to do it? Right data to start? Okay. So in the morning, I was reading an article where they say close to 67 percentage of the AI transformation project will cease to exist because the right data is actually not there. So we always say, okay, before AI first approach, we need to look at the data first approach. Data first and then the AI second, okay, which could lead to a successful transformation. You will not be getting stuck in the pilot purgatory. Okay. So do we have process? Do you have the people? Do we have the technology? Do we actually have the data? So people, process, technology, and the data build by or partner. Okay, this is the approach. Build by partner and open source. Okay, this is four approaches for everything. If you don't have the right data, okay, either you can build the data with this internal surveys, etc., or you need to buy it from a third party. You can ask a third party to prepare that for you, or take one other organization will also give you the data set. Okay. And for the technology, either you need to have your own technology in-house, or you have to buy it or partner with a third party. GPUs and TPUs are very expensive. If you are not able to buy it, partner with that, the partner with the third party. Okay, process. If you don't have the internal team to establish the process for you, ISO 42001 is one. Okay, AI governance is another one. If you don't have the right people to do it for you, ensure that you hire the right people or you hire the right organization to do it for you. So this is technology and then data. Okay, so people, process, technology, process also, yes. So we have answered all the four questions. Buy, build, or partner, or build, buy, or partner. Okay, this is the question. So executive question: do we really have an ethical access to the right data? Does the vendor choice protect confidentiality? So security, data lineage, data auditability, data provenance, data linkability. Everything leads to the situation where, okay, whether we can, whether we have a right to use the data. A lot of cases have been there where the Federal Trade Commission has penalized the organization for using training their model on the unauthorized data. Let's not fall into this particular situation. Okay. So gate two, we have successfully crossed. Let's look out for the investment for the gate three. Now, validation. Now, the data is there. So we have developed a model, training, testing, and validation. Okay. We need to validate the model performance, validate the model towards the performance, functionality, usability, and the security. So is the model performing really well? So in fact, I will always say use case, misuse case, all those things are actually fine. In most of the cases, okay, in the inference stage where the model undergoes the training, testing, and validation, output could be a part of a different application. So the output of an AI LC will be embedded as a part of the SDLC, or the model could be used by itself. Okay. Usually with a web-facing application, model is surrounded by the web application layer, which is surrounded by the operating system, surrounded by the hardware, surrounded with the network, surrounded with the supply chain, then finally surrounded with the human. So there are 7 layers of vulnerability usually exist on an AI application. Okay, so let's look at all this functionality, usability, performance, and security. So let's evaluate the product with respect to all these four things. Okay, and then we need to go for a change. Okay, how do you actually deploy it at this particular gate? Okay, if you're going to satisfy all the requirements, okay, so you will receive an additional investment. Now let's get on to the gate for the production readiness and the human oversight. How are we going to deploy this application in the production? Usually, I always say, okay, we should integrate any of the standards with ITSM, ISO 20K. So what cannot be measured cannot be managed. What cannot be managed cannot be improved. Okay, so we need to measure all this. We need to keep measuring. Okay, anything that is getting deployed should be a part of the change, approved change. So as we said, performance, usability, functionality, and then security. Technically, privacy is also a part of security. Now, whenever we discuss about the security part of it, okay, we need to have the security sign off before the application is shipped onto the production. Okay, like security sign off is a must. As a part of the security, you will also evaluate, okay, the AI security specific vulnerabilities. Google Secure AI Framework, OWASP Top 10 LLM vulnerability, NHA vulnerability, and then the ML vulnerability. Okay, then NIST adversarial machine learning, MITRE attack. All these things needs to be tested. Okay, and these are known vulnerabilities. Innumerable unknown vulnerabilities do exist. Some come and some vanish. Okay, they are product specific. Okay, so there are vulnerabilities in the product. There are vulnerabilities in the process. There are vulnerabilities in the human. So multiple layers of vulnerabilities does exist. Okay, so what I'm saying for the known vulnerabilities, at least we should test it. Okay, the testing is not only with respect to AI, it should also be with respect to the operating system. It should also be with respect to the web. It should also be with respect to the networks, okay, supply chain, etc. All these vulnerabilities needs to be tested, and there should be a security sign off before we go ahead with the deployment. Okay, the question: can the human operators effectively override, pause, reverse the AI decision in real time? This is called the kill switch. Okay, toxicity. Okay, there are input guardrails, output guardrails. Okay, so many controls are actually there for this. Okay, so the kill switch, do you have human in the loop, human in the loop, human on the loop, and human in command? Okay, there are 3 levels of involvement with respect to the human. Human in the loop is always better, but wherever possible, at least human on the loop should be there. Okay, human in command is more on the governance layer, so that might not be product specific. It could be with respect to the organization. So the gate for you answer this question. Okay, are we safe enough to deploy it? Okay, do we have skilled people? Can somebody invoke the kill switch to stop the application if it's going to behave erratically? Okay, today on the news we found that there's a humanoid kicking the passerby or kicking whosoever surrounding it, okay, around it in Indonesia. These type of things are something which are expected to happen. Okay, in one of the San Francisco, in one of the Chinese restaurant, okay, the robo, okay, I think it's used for collecting the plates, okay, eaten plates, etc., and it was started throwing the plates and the knife. Okay, the waitress came to hold it. We are going to have this news very often. I will not be surprised if there are humanoid or robo gangsters, okay, which are deployed in the world. Okay, now do we have a law to arrest them? No. The owner, arresting the owner? No, because there's a questionable, there's a gap in the law. Okay, in many of situations. 7 months back, okay, there was a situation where the Waymo car in San Bruno took an illegal U-turn. When the police officer asked to down the windscreen, not the windscreen, the side glasses, to issue the ticket. There was nobody inside. Okay, so it's again a driverless taxi. So whom they can issue the ticket for? So these type of questions always arises. Okay. Now at the gate 4, if you have a kill switch, you have the human in the loop. Everything is okay. Let's get on to the. You'll receive the additional investment. Let's get on to the gate 5. This is where the AI operations actually start. AILC before the deployment, AI ops after the deployment. So the business as usual, where the people are going to support the AI incident, service management, change management, you have to integrate that with the existing ITSM framework, which is ISO 20K. Now, the question is the system delivering anticipated return on investment without drifting into unexpected behavioral security anomalies? This is not a one-time activity. According to the European Union AI Act, okay, so if there's going to be a bias of more than 5%, that's something that we are going to discuss next as well with respect to retraining the data, retraining the model. Now, if the drift is there, we need to trigger a retraining. So business as usual is usually the return on investment need not be always monetary. So BCQRST is what we know, okay, from the Prince2 days, increasing the benefits, reducing the cost, increasing the quality, reducing the risk, increasing the scope, reducing the timeline. Okay, we need to look at this. And with respect to the ROI, so we will also discuss the AI value creation. AI value creation is increasing the profitability, reducing the operational cost, saving ourselves from the penalty. So like a penny saved, the penny earned, right? If you're not going to pay the penalty to the regulatory body, that means that money is something that you're saving. Okay, the AI should either increase the profitability, reduce the operational cost, and should also save the money. Okay, with respect to the penalties payable to the regulatory compliances. These are three strategies for the value creation. So the ROI is also with respect to the value. Okay, because you have 10 employees instead of hiring 5 more employees. If you're going to augment the existing team with an AI tool, okay, so you are saving the cost of hiring the five more employees. This situation is inevitable. Okay, because there are pros and cons for the organization. So a lot of companies went on to the digital employee like an AI agents, but they're coming back to the because it's a super duper high cost, operational cost. It's eating up the complete budget what was allocated for a year and 4 months time. Okay, so situations are changing, pros and cons are anywhere there. Okay, we cannot correctly judge whether the AI transformation has been successful. Even after the successful AI transformation, the AI operations was not successful. Okay, so on the business as usual, you look at the transition has been successful or not. This is where the operations actually happen. Is it stable with respect to the operations? Yes, no. Then if you're going to look at the drift, okay, then we'll get on to the gate 6, which is called the life cycle. Retain, retrain, retire. If it's a one-off project, you don't have to retrain it. So if it's a one-off project or there is going to be a migration, see, for example, you have your entire operations with large language model, you want to come back to small language model. So you will have a knowledge distillation method to come from an LLM to an SLM. Your SLM will be deployed internal. Okay, in that particular case, after doing a model migration, you will retire that particular model. Or the model will be retired, okay, because there's a bankruptcy. Okay. This retiring the model is a very important step because if you're not going to retire or decommission the model properly, it will lead to what is called the AI zombie. Okay, that abandoned child or abandoned AI model on your network. Okay. In that particular situation, there could be a lot of other problems. One of the schools in Los Angeles, they had this problem. They had an AI zombie. Okay, they had an AI model that was not supported because the vendor went bankrupt. So they did not decommission it properly. It was staying like a zombie, like a demon. Okay, and there was a huge data breach because of that. So retire should be done properly. Retain the model is something that you're going to hold for. That means if you're not going to retrain the model because of the change, okay, there could be different models. Okay, there are models in which you are training that on the data set. Okay, they'll retain the information. In that particular case, you need to repeatedly train them on the latest data set. Okay, for example, if there's a bias, you check the bias. The bias is more than 95%. More than 5%. According to the European Union AI Act, you need to retrain the model. Okay, in that case, you'll retrain the model. When will you retain the model? Is the model is not parameterized. That means you have not trained that model on the data. The model is just going to, like not RAG, retrieval augmented generation, going to receive your inputs and convert that to one vector database. That doesn't require a frequent retraining. Okay, so you will retain that particular model. So either you will retain it, you will retrain it, or you will retire. Okay, depending upon what you're actually going to do, the funding will be released to you. Okay, this is the sixth gate process for getting the funding. Okay, the organization should look out for funding an AI project. Okay, so the Subramaniam Shankar, all these things will be covered as a part of your certified chief AI officer training. If you're interested in the training, you can mail us on training@itriples.org.uk. Cheers and bye bye.